my dear Aries. This is a love reading and prediction for Pisces season, February 19 to March 20, 2020, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. The first reading I did was for the birthday sign Pisces, and I'm reading the other signs in the order of most appreciated videos from the previous love readings published for Aquarius season. You can see the order I'm reading this time around at the community section of my channel, if you're curious when a certain sign is being read for. So this will be a love reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising sign and Venus, Vedic or tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So when I tell you that this is you, it might as well be the person or the situation you are dealing with. So use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this reading for you. And if you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Aquarius season that is up. We are in Aquarius season right now, so it can be a good idea to rewatch that reading for your sign. Or you can also check out the near personal readings or pick a card readings on the first page of my channel. And I will start shuffling your cards, and I use the Gilded Tarot with Ciro Marchetti. So, when I open your deck here, I see 9 of Cups in the reverse and the 6 of Wands in the reverse. So, it seems like a situation where we might be taken for granted, or maybe taking someone for granted that are close to us. So, it's almost like we are playing with their feelings, or they are playing with our feelings. Even though it's a great connection, the 9 of Cups shows that this is the person that you're supposed to be with. The 6 of Wands is great physical attraction and passion, but when it comes to the reverse, it shows that one person in this equation is not with it with heart and soul, but maybe just with their ego. So I call the divine with love and light, and here we have the Hermit with the 9 of Cups in the reverse. So it shows that maybe the person is selfish because of some dire need to search themselves or grow personally. It might be that this person isn't ready for commitment or loyalty or friendship, or maybe they just need to spend a lot of time alone, and that might be why they are maybe I can see pictures in front of me where they are keeping you waiting, and maybe kind of keep you hanging as well while they are out about trying to figure themselves out. And it might be hard to get any answer out from this person, or any inklings about the future or where we are going to go from here, because simply they don't know. They don't even know themselves at this point, and they need to get to know themselves. So that's why they're in this process. So I've forgotten where I were, but I called the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and we have the 8 of Wands in reverse together with the Hermit in reversed. So when they go on this walkabouts and wants to be alone, there might be a block of communication. You might think that maybe they are out about with someone else. That might be a possibility, but that's not their prime goal, to betray you with someone else. It's more that they just actually need some space, they need some head space. So I'm hearing some kind of song here. Try to figure out what it is. This was a difficult one. Something with eyes and stars, and your eyes are like old stars. Eyes like old stars, or old soul, or something like that. It's anyway, in the refrain they're singing that that when something like similar like this, just the idea, they're not singing this actually, but the idea is that whenever we need time apart and go about figuring ourselves out, we give ourselves that time. I hope I find it. I will try to search for it. It's very hard when it's just a melody and some loosely held lyrics, or it's more the story of the song I'm hearing, and not the actual lyrics, so that makes it even harder. So 6 elements, and we have a 6 of Wands with the 8 of Wands. So since this comes like this, I want to understand a little bit better what's up with this. It might be that they are on and off. Sometimes they are like really trying, you know, to communicate and be the best version of themselves, but they're still, I feel that they're still very selfish. It's like it's all about them. But we have the 4th chakra here, Archangel Raphael. It comes in the reversed, and the 8 of Wands is in the reverse. So I think they are kind of trying to heal their heart and find themselves and these kind of things. They don't really have time for you maybe, and you might feel like they are taking you for granted or not being, you know, careful with your relationship. So I'll read this. This card reversed indicates some blocks in the flow of heart center energy. Perhaps it's an old sense of abandonment or the grief of a broken heart lingering from a long past event. Whether it's recent or not, this blocked energy stops you from caring for yourself and for others, and it's hard for you to attract love from others, and can create an undercurrent of unhappiness that permeates your life. It's time to heal the old stuck stuff and move on. Don't bypass the pain and pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, ventilate it in your journal and release it with an intention to be clear, happy, and self-loving. Meditate on increasing light in your heart center and call on Raphael to help bring healing and clarity there. Love yourself and give yourself approval you used to need from others. The healing will take place and happiness will return. So affirmation, my heart center, my 4th chakra is open to this perfect, healthy, and joyful state. The energy of love flows through me now. I live in love. So this seems to come mostly for this other person, but it's probably good advice for you too, because when you meet a person like this, they're mirroring something within yourself. If they're not communicating, it's not because they don't love you, it's because they are trying to heal themselves and they are in some kind of difficult mood where they don't have absolute control over themselves and their lives. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aries viewers. So I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. It might be also, if this is about you, that you need some time alone and you can't be there really for other people at this point, even if you want to, and you might need to communicate that instead of just surprising people with your absence. So I'm just going to tune in for a few seconds to you, Aries, and your situation in Pisces season. So my dear Aries, this is the new bottom of the deck, and it's the 5 of Swords in the reverse. So it's time to lay down that battle sword and realize that the other person isn't out to hurt you. They can barely cope with themselves, so it's not personal. Actually, they seem maybe not so very invested in the relationship right now and more trying to figure out themselves. So they don't have this time. This is the old bottom of the deck, and it's the King of Pentacles in the reversed. So the King of Pentacles in the reverse, for me in this case, it feels like a person that have been trying to be, you know, resourceful, responsible, trying to be a committed partner, but they always had this like Lilith dark moon here that kind of disturbed them and made them moody at occasions, that made them shut you out maybe and have very high boundaries or walls towards the world, but they really had very good intention, it seems. Okay, so this is what's on your mind about the person most on your mind, and this is the situation, and this is what's on their mind about you, and this is your feelings towards them, the bond that binds you together, their feelings towards you, your behaviors and attitudes towards them, the outcome, and their behaviors and attitudes towards you. So I'll start with the situation here. And we have this 9 of Swords, which is what they are hiding with this little bit of silent. They seem to not want to bother you with how they are feeling. So they're rather blocking you or disappearing or not answering text message or phone messages. And maybe they are trying to carry this a little bit alone. And some people want to do that. They want to control this process, so they don't want anyone else to dig into them. They want to figure it out themselves. Usually it's better if you can get help or talk to someone that can give you a little bit perspective. But we need to respect if a person is very private. So someone is suffering, maybe both parties are suffering in this situation. No one can really turn to the other for help. So this is what's on your mind about that. And we have a 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's like you're getting rather irritated. It feels like they have dropped the ball on you numerous of times, and now you're ready to drop the ball on them, and not, you don't want to be the only one trying to make this work. Like, oh God, I have both my responsibility for this relationship and their responsibility, and it was a little bit too much. So you just feel like dropping them on their ass, and you feel like they are not really trying the best they can to fix this situation. It's like they have dropped the ball on you as well. And this is what's on their mind, conscious mind about you. And we have a 9 of Cups. So I think they love you, and they are grateful for what you have given them so far. They would be very surprised if you dropped the ball on them, I think, because they think the world of you and think that you are a good person, and they want to give you the love back. They have, as I said, good intentions. This is a knight that's holding the Holy Grail in their hand. So it's almost like they are trying to figure out love, trying to figure out how to be a good partner, trying to figure out how to make this good again. Okay, so this is the bond that binds, and we have a 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. We kind of goes hand in hand with the King of Pentacles in the reverse. This seems like a person you have had a longer relationship with, but lately or for some years or a while, they have been acting strange. Maybe they have always been like this, but it has getting worse. So the platform or the foundation that you built together is not as stable as it were before. It's threatening to show out to be just a house of cards without no foundation. So it shows that relationships needs a lot of investment, needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of communication as well. And sometimes when the other person doesn't want to communicate, it's very hard to make things better. So I'm feeling you're a little bit stuck with this because this person isn't disloyal. And if you love them, you of course want to stay with them, but it's a very difficult situation because this might be going on for even years to come, because this is about the person's whole life journey, about healing and finding themselves, and this person seems to just be in like the beginning of it, or beginning of the descent towards maybe depression and problematic behavior that comes from them not even being able to be nice towards themselves at this point. So usually when we grow both spiritually and personally, it usually goes like maybe first up a little bit. You improve yourself, you start to define yourself and separate yourself from the ideas that your parents once had, and you feel like you are getting a better and better version of them, or maybe not as them at all. So you feel like many times a success, but then when it's like a Saturn return, and it's time to really look at this once more. So it's almost like being back in the trauma once more. So it's a deep diving that's going on, and this person is kind of on their way down to this. And well, down there you will find yourself. First you have found out who you want to be in the world. and what you want to represent. But then here you will find what is your true soul, like who were you when you came, before you got conditioned towards being this person with rules and regulations and values and principles. And this is a deeper diving that needs to be done to obtain that, and usually it goes through depression or some kind of crisis. So this is your feelings towards them, and with the Queen of Pentacles you want to be there and support them, much what I felt, and you kind of don't want to abandon them at this point. So you're a stable point in their world, but they can't be that stable for you, it seems, with the King of Pentacles that we saw in the reversed. But we'll see here. This is their feelings towards you, and we have a Five of Wands in the reverse, so it's much like the Five of Swords. It's time to lay down your arms. It's from your point of view, like you need to understand that this is not about you. It's not a personal vendetta towards you. They are not trying to hurt you, and this is about them not having it in them anymore to try to convince you that they are a good person or worth loving, or that they didn't do this awful thing that you thought that they did. You fought it because you were treated badly, because they had enough with dealing with themselves, but they don't have the energy to also defend themselves towards you. So if there's going to be more drama, they're probably not going to have the energy to stay and work that out, unfortunately. So they also might want to, you know, try again to tell you that, no, I didn't mean it like that. But I feel the tiredness here of, I can't argue with you anymore. I can't make you understand. And it's not that you are not an understanding person. On the contrary, it's just that they haven't let you in on what it is that you need to understand. Okay, they have kept you out, is what I'm feeling. And this is your behaviors and attitudes towards them. And it's another 10, and it's a 10 of Cups. So you had this idea of you being together forever, and now that idea is starting to fade a little bit. You haven't given up on them, and you still love them, but in this case it seems like you still need to carry the main load of this relationship if you wanted to still be there. So it doesn't seem like they can contribute that much. This is their behaviors and attitudes towards you. And we have a Queen of Wands in the reverse. So they might treat you like you are the problem. Like you are bitchy and you are arguing and you are always complaining about them and you're always so darn dramatic. And when the problem is that they are doing stupid shit and they don't want to talk about it and they don't want to tell you why they're doing this stupid shit. But it seems like they are almost gaslighting you a little bit, and it's not out of spite, but it's like they're referring the responsibility for the decline of the relationship on you, and that's kind of unfair. So probably you need to say no thank you to that and say, well, I can maybe cope with that you are a little bit problematic to live with at this point, but I'm not going to take the blame for you for this. I'm the same, and you have, obviously you're going through something, and I want to help you, I want to be there for you, but I'm not going to be the one being blamed for things being like this. So if I'm upset, it's because you are behaving like this, and I want to know why, so I can help you and help myself and our relationship. I don't know, but something like that, because this isn't really fair that they are kind of either becoming revengeful and spiteful, and it's like they are so tired they can't really behave well, so they might become difficult to live with. And on the other hand, they might blame you and say, and kind of refer it that it's you that's the problem, to make it, you know, easier on themselves. They know that that's not true, and you know that that's not true. But it's like when it's just easier to blame someone else for something you did. Okay, outcome, 6 of Cups in reverse. This won't be fixed at this moment. It will continue being like a strong love, but not in the best of place right now. So a good foundation, really, even if you question it. So it's a good foundation because you seem to love each other, but it's not going to miraculously heal this instant. This is the childhood and past life card, so it's about the things that like we wanted to live in paradise and union, and sometimes somewhere things went wrong, and everyone say we can't live in an utopia. Why can't we live in an utopia? It's because everyone have shadows and things with themselves that they don't see, and they are doing things towards other people that they are not aware of, or sometimes they are aware of it. We have people that's power hungry and wants to see other people suffer, and there's a lot of bad things in the world, but this is about, you know, getting closer and closer and closer to that utopia and that harmony. And how we do that is we start with healing ourselves, healing our past, healing our past lives, our childhood, our inner child, our soul. So that's the process that you're in, and I'm not seeing it being, you know, solved like this. I'm seeing that it's going to take some time. So what's their input or problem right now is their heart chakra. What's your thing? And we have rest and rejuvenation, and it comes in the reverse. So it's almost like you're a little bit a ghost in this situation, because I think it's very hard for you to communicate what you feel without getting a dramatic response. So it's like you're tiptoeing a little bit around this situation, and you can just see it go south or declining or getting worse, and you feel like you're a little bit, you can't do anything about it. What this card seems to advise is, while this person is, you know, engaging a lot in healing their heart chakra, maybe you should also engage a lot in your personal growth, and bother less about them and their difficulties and how they are treating you, and worry more about how you treat yourself. So you can use this time to not be so outwardly seeking towards them, but actually also going inward and seeking inside yourself. So it's like you have this opportunity, which you have seemed to not really take, because maybe you just feel desperate, you want to fix this situation, but the divine says it can't be fixed at this moment. The best you can do is kind of help them. I'm seeing almost like you're doing this simultaneously, healing, and maybe you need to do it in your separate ways a little bit. Like you can't be there supporting one another at this point. You need to do this self-healing on your own, although where you can't share this. We have healing family issues, and it felt like it was the only card that came, but it was also this one sticking out. So healing family issues and give your relationship a chance. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents and work on your partnership. So it's not the time to give up on this relationship or think that it's okay, this is all going to hell, because it's not. It's just a natural process. It's like getting teeth when you're a baby, or learning to walk, or learning to tie your own shoes when you're 3, or going through this stage when you're 3 or 6 when you make a little bit revolution and say, I can do this myself. And so this is as natural. It's not comfortable, but it's as natural. It's something that happens in all soul's development, that they at some point need to cast off the burden of what the world has made you to be, and find out who you are really on your own. Like, who are you? And we can do this and still be in this relationship, even if it's not going to be what it has been. And if you are single, if there's a real break between you, sometimes the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups in reverse can mean that there's a pause in this relationship, or there's no relationship. Still work on self-healing and healing these family issues, and later you will be able to give this relationship a new chance. Okay. So, my dear Aries, I hope this helped. If you have more questions or wonderings, you can go to the first page of my channel. Check out the love readings for Aquarius season that is up, or the near personal and pick a card readings on the first page of my channel. I'm also going to sprinkle out new near personal readings and maybe pick a card readings during February. And in the end of February, we're actually going to have the same reading as this, similar reading to this, but for the Aries season. So, my dear Aries, you will be first out next month, and I hope you will come back and see me then. So, until then, also take really good care. Bye-bye.